Talo falava ma lolele and warm Pacific greetings, whānau. You've tuned into this beautiful Pacific days, and we're joined in by two members of Corrella, Ngawai and Tupz. And before we get into it, we send a big shout out to the man himself who couldn't be with us today. Yes, that is Pip. He couldn't make it with us today and because of other work commitments. But he's still very much part of the whānau and the Corrella story. So Corrella whānau, if you've never heard of them, they've always had music that brings people together. They've also been on the big stage. They entertain, they bring the vibes, they bring the big heart. But their new single, Not I won't sound like a Jamaican, because it's more of a Māori sort of feel. So I'll do it, Not I. Yeah, oh, that still sounds Jamaican. Anyway, it goes deeper. It talks about identity, courage, those moments where you decide, nah, I'm standing firm in who I am. Ngawai, Tupz, haere mai, no mai, haere mai, ma lo lovely sui fua, ma le langi ma, tala mai, how great to have you.
Kia ora, thank you for having us.
Whoa.
Yeah, kia ora, brother. It's good to be back.
Well, let's relax. Let's have, after all of that, let's start with this. When someone hears Not I for the very first time, what feeling you hope they walk with? Ngawai, we'll start with you.
Confidence, probably confidence in their in what they stand for and what their values are. If someone can feel confident in what they're about when hearing the song, then I guess that's a win for us. Yeah,
and I guess I think everyone in Aotearoa's probably experienced something that they could relate the song to, bro, and even having a Jamaican foundation of reggae. I think there's a lot of similarities between Polynesian people and the Jamaican people, and which is why we kind of have gone down that route. And yeah, it's like a call for the people to say, if you stand up for yourself, you stand up for something. So Not I.
Oh wow, there's our icebreaker. Just caught it all about the song. Now, Ngawai, I'm going to start with you. Let's introduce yourself, where you're from, and also the big question here, Ngawai. The song feels so incredibly personal, and it's almost like you're letting listeners into that moment that you lived. And is there a particular moment that you experienced that helped you connect strongly with that message as well?
Kia ora tātou, ko Ngawai wera Campbell tōku ingoa, he uri ahau no Tauranga Moana. My name's Ngawai, I'm from Tauranga. I feel like Māori are a very resilient, very resistant iwi. We push hard on issues that we don't believe in. And so I suppose that's sort of the personal path that I go down. In terms of the video clip, it was quite personal. All of those tupuna in the video clip are our own tupuna, our own great-grandmothers and fathers. And if you look back in Māori history, there's, like I said, there's always been a time of resistance, especially coming to the government and stuff like that. Not that it's aimed at the government or anyone in particular, but
not that it's not.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to it, when a lot of young Māori and Pasifika people are still learning how to use their voice, but what would you say to someone who's struggling to stand up for themselves?
Oh yeah, I feel like for young Māori and Pasifika people, probably just looking back in your history and going through those sort of steps and what our ancestors have faced, and finding the courage there to sort of stand up for what they also believed in. Amazing.
Tupz, every song has a moment where it suddenly comes live, and when you realise it's okay, this is something special. When did that moment happen for Not I?
It would have been quite early for me, I think, with Not I, and it's mainly because a lot of the songs and the way that I've heard Ngawai sing, this song particularly is quite heavily outside of her realm of vocals and stuff. And I guess the first time we ever heard Ngawai on this track and actually pronouncing I'd say projecting the words at the way that she was, it was really put hairs on the back of our necks. It stood up and was like, wow, this is real powerful. And I think that was probably the pivot point for me.
Because what I loved about it too, watching the clip, it made it, Ngawai made it more authentic. using the Māori costumes as well as you and Pip. But with Ngawai, she delivered it, what was so meaningful, having seen the patu, that says it all. The actions of the patu, seeing that, it gave me the chills when I saw that on the song, which was the perfect moment for it, because you need that strong opener. But the way she delivered the message, that's where it hit me.
Yeah.
Which I'll come later into the song. But for you, there was how much did the arrangement involve during the recording?
The arrangement.
Yeah, for the whole for the song. Yeah.
It was a collaborative process, I'll say. Ngawai and myself had a heavy influence. I guess me in the process behind the actual track, Ngawai in the actual writing itself, alongside our brothers Matt and Diane, who are absolutely amazing at what they do. And yeah, it was like all hands on deck for the song. And I think the essence of the song is, you don't walk on your own 2 feet, and you carry your tupuna with you everywhere you go, which is, we kind of tried to have that in the writing and the visual process as well.
And how did you make sure the music supported the story rather than competing it? Because that's what I loved about how you guys deliver. I was making sure that the story and the message was clear, but not competing with the rest of everything. How did you guys manage to do all of that? Because it's quite difficult.
Yeah, well, and like I say again, I'm really lucky of the people we have in the band, and the honestly the amount of brains that we have in our band and the talent.
Even our producer, Shay.
Yeah. And I think everything followed the foundation of the song itself. And obviously the visuals tell exactly, if you'd never heard the song and you watched it visually without any sound, you could kind of get the same message from the song, from the video that you do from the song. And that's kind of how we tried to do it, building it up to the point that it is now.
It is amazing. Whānau, if you haven't seen it yet, I tell you, it was a lot of work and put involved. So I had a privilege to manage to see that, and I could see you can always have a bit of a tangiwetu at the same time when, like you said, you don't have to have the sound, but the delivery of that was in visual was quite powerful.
Yeah.
But here's something that really stayed with me, and I'll get to both of you to answer. The one lyric that hit me the most: "It better to die than on your feet than live on your knees." Now that's a huge statement. Now, Ngawai, I'd love to hear what the line means to you today.
Yeah, I suppose just standing up and not sort of falling over, or just being strong in your opinion and strong in what you believe in, and you'd rather die like that than give in to something that you don't, or Yeah, no, I feel like it was just fitting to put at the start of the song, because it sort of sets the tone for the rest of the song.
Tupz?
Yeah, for me it's, we only have a real limited time on this world, like in this world. And it's would you want to be remembered from your mokupuna, that you sat by and let things happen, or would you like to be known as someone that stood up for what you thought was right? That's what I think that lyric is all about.
Amazing. Because music can often reflect moments that we all live through.
Yeah.
Right. Ngawai, looking back at your own journeys, can you share a time that you stood your ground and where you chose your values in taking an easier path? I know you got a whole list, because looking at Tupz, he's probably yeah.
She always stands her ground.
The truth is coming out. The truth is coming out, Father.
I suppose I try to live like that every day. What's one particular time that stood out?
Because this is a question, the reason why I brought it up, because it's not just only the music, but I always get behind the people, because not always it's mentioned the people behind the music. Yep. So I wanted to get that emotion. So when you guys go, because you got a huge event coming up very soon, and not a lot of people know about Corrella. I've only just known Corrella almost like, it sounds like for years, but really I've only just recently known Corrella. So it was nice to really hear your whakaaro, your kōrero on it as well. So what were your moments?
Maybe not in my own moments, but a lot of the or a lot of the everyday life sort of decisions like that count back onto our tupuna and our history in our Māori history. You know, like there have been plenty of times where we've had to do that, and where my ancestors and my grandparents have had to do that in order for us to be able to, you know, for those decisions to not be so hard. You know, we can just sort of, you know, the sacrifices and all the sacrifices that they made have sort of paved our way so that we don't have to do the same thing as they did. So I feel like my thing's sort of drawn on my grandparents and my ancestors.
And because you delivered that so well. So thank you to that. Now we're going to go to Tupz since he was mocking you. Can you share a moment that you stood your ground? Because you and Pip look like trouble. Because I follow you guys on socials, and honestly, I look at Ngawai, who's more calm, and then they try to bring. If it wasn't for her, you guys will be all over the place. So where is a moment where you stood your ground and you chose your values and overtaking the easier path? So
I'm just gonna prefix this by I'm usually the calm head and Ngawai will keep the out the gate ones. To be honest, Ngawai's probably cracking up at me in this one because I regularly do this. Like, I think I live my life this way.
Yes.
And a lot of people that have been on the receiving end of it will probably see it as being quite a stubborn person. But I truly have been brought up to be a type of person that if I don't agree with something, or if I don't think that someone is doing something right or by or not in the best interest of their people, then I will say something. And being a Māori officer in the Navy has given me a lot of opportunities to do that. And that's mainly because the military is a very Royal Navy and British centric place. It's quite a confronting place for a Māori. So I get a lot of opportunities to do that, to be honest, brother.
Wow, I can feel that.
Actually.
But
sorry, I was just thinking, actually, every day I have the opportunity to speak Māori, and so that's probably my one way of, you know, standing up for what's right. I speak Māori to my baby every day. I teach Māori to my students most days, you know, and so that's probably a practical way that I do it every day.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. And because when I follow the socials, it looks like Tupz and Pippi always are the
you're right, you're absolutely
more
right.
troublemakers out in real life. Honestly, whānau, if you follow them on socials, you can see who's the ulavale one. and I love it when you mentioned you mentioned your whānau band. I saw the connection, and that relates to everything that you guys do. So it's so powerful. But before we wrap up, and if someone that's listening right now is feeling the pressure to compromise who they are, what message would you encourage them to leave with as well? And you can also make shout outs to those whānau out there and people that you want to mention. Ngawai? What message would you leave to someone who's in that same compromise, who of knowing who they are, don't know how to stand up? What message would you like to leave them, and shout outs that you like to make to the whānau?
Just find inspiration. Like, if you're struggling with it on your own, just find inspiration. Go to the people that inspire you, and events or history that inspires you, and sort of look there for it. That's pretty much.
I'd say, and I'm going to repeat myself again, but no Polynesian is walking on their own, regardless of they are physically by themselves. They carry the weight of their tipuna and I guess the legacy of their whānau that they're going to be leaving behind. And I think it's important for Polynesians to remember that that's the legacy that we leave behind, and our time on earth is not that long. So, che.
Too much. Ngā mihi whawhitei tele lava whānau. Corrella is a powerful single, Not I, out now wherever you're listening to the music. And whānau, did you want to share to them where can our listeners grab the music Not I? I'm still sounding like a Jamaican silly.
It's hard, eh? It's hard.
Ole, kua hard, man.
Well, you can, kia ora whānau, you can stream all of Corella's music on all streaming platforms, on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. You'll find the full music video on YouTube as well. If you struggle to find anything, we're on social media on Instagram and Facebook.
Ngawai?
Corrella_New Zealand.
There you go, whānau. Wishing all the team and the whole Corrella team who'll be listening as well, all the best for the new release. So Ngawai and Tupz, thank you both for joining us this afternoon. Ngā mihi kia koe, whawhitei tele lava. And let's not forget our dear brother who couldn't be away with us. He is the biggest trouble of all the team.
Yes.
Agreed.
Him and Joel, so LAB from Joel. So
he's trouble too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So whānau, don't forget, if you are in Rotorua, they're coming your way this summer. So I thought I'd put a plug on that one. So yeah, watch out for Joel and Pip. So they are the biggest troublemakers of all. So big shout out to our also who couldn't be here with us, and we appreciate them all. And also, it's not just the music, but the heart behind. So wishing Corrella and the whānau manuia lava, and thank you. Ngā mihi.
Kia ora.
Thanks heaps for having us, brother.
Hear me say